Hey GradeLink, it's Lena. This is an internal GradeLink video, not client facing, but I thought I would leave you guys with a couple thoughts on the financial section as well as some of the most common support issues. So, but before I do that, real quick, I just want to show you this setting that Duke put in for us just for troubleshooting purposes. So under financial, if you click on admin in the top right and then click on settings, we see this area that the client does not see. We see this GradeLink admin settings at the bottom and this checkbox that says enable edits to closed periods. So Duke put that in there to make our troubleshooting a little bit easier. So just to probably already know this, but on the billing area, if a billing period is closed, so like here we have February 1st through February 28th, in theory in the ledger, a client would only be able to choose if they would only be able to put a transaction that falls within that date range in the ledger if that's the billing period that's currently open. So it's not like the billing periods don't roll over automatically or something like that. They're manually opened and closed at any point in time, but the condition is if a particular billing period is open, then you can only put a transaction date in the ledger that falls within the date range of that billing period. So at this point of time, it's May 8th today, but I would only be able to put in a charge in the ledger with a date between March 1st and March 31st because that's the open period. And just again, you can only have one of these open at a time. So this is probably one of the biggest issues that we run into with clients is they want to put in transactions from the past and the billing periods are already open and closed. And so what Duke built is this ability for us to check this box, and when that box is checked, then all of the constraints on only editing an open within an open billing period are off, meaning if I check this box and go to my billing again, or I'll go to my ledger, March was the open one, but now I can go back to like November if I want, and anything kind of goes. I can put in a transaction. Normally that would not be allowed. So Duke recommends removing this check mark when you're done troubleshooting with a client, just because he kind of built this whole billing section to sort of operate in a sort of formalized accounting way, meaning typically if you need to like account for a mistake in the past, then you would put in a new transaction to accommodate for the mistake as opposed to going back in time and deleting some kind of a record as it was to correct for a mistake. So I think technically the way that he built it is obviously more correct in the accounting world, although for most of our clients, I'll say that they don't use it that way and they just kind of want to put in transactions. So anyway, that checkbox that I showed you is a helpful feature. My second tip is that a lot of schools do not start using the financial at the beginning of the school year because like if a school's starting up, they kind of see financial as like an add-on or something that they can do without, and oftentimes they're using some other kind of system. So by the time they have time to learn about financial, it's already midway through the year. And so it's really tricky to set up pay plans at that point. And so even just pay plans aside, if you're walking a client through getting set up like in the middle of the school year, tell them to leave all of these billing cycles in pending, because if anything is pending, then they can enter transactions for any date in time as long as it's pending. Once it's closed, though, they can't do that. So if you're walking a client through setup midway through the year, tell them to put in all their past transactions that they need to, and then only when they're completely caught up, then have them go through, and they'll have to catch up. So they'll have to open these one at a time, and you do have to set it to open, and then click save, and then set the next one to, actually I'll just do it here. Click open, and then closed, save. Oh, please change the period status back to open. Oh, okay. So stick with me here. What happened there was I've enabled this setting to post month-to-date statements. This is not on automatically, but a client does have the ability to turn it on. So clients get confused about the bill on date and on a pay plan versus the close date on a billing cycle. So I made a video on it. It's like towards the end of the series. But if you just know that on this page, if you have this area for posting installments, you have to post. Let's see, please change the period status back to open. Oh, okay. It's saying I can't close it because I didn't post this. So I'm going to open this. Okay, and then I'm going to post this. Okay, now I can close the period status. Okay, and then I can move to the next one. And open, and so on. So a client will probably not even have this turned on when they're first getting started, so you can just move them through pending to open to closed, and then the next month would be pending, open, closed, and you don't have to worry about this whole thing. Okay, so let me see, what else did I want to mention? I'll just just as a general observation, this page is definitely this page, and how it ties into pay plans is probably the trickiest thing in the financial section. I said this in a client video, but I'll just reiterate it again for you guys. When a student's on a contract, they have these bill on dates, and the bill on date has to fall in the within the billing cycle. So like this is March 23rd, and they want it to be billed at the end of March to show a charge so the parent can pay for April. So on this page, you have to, that charge will only trigger, because it falls in this date range, it's only going to trigger when I close the billing period. And then I could run the statement for March to show the upcoming charges for April. So, yeah, that's what clients get really confused about. And so you can, if you want to explain this option to them, you can. And that just says, as soon as, in this case, like for Amelia, as soon as March 23rd happens, they can come into, they can go into billing and then just post it right away, and it'll show up, and they don't have to, it'll show up even before they close this. Okay, so I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but it's like the number one thing that people get confused about on financial. Okay, the other thing that people get confused about is in the ledger. They don't understand what this new balance column is. So they understand the amount, like, of a transaction, but they don't understand, like, where this new balance is coming from. And I just explained to them that this is a running total. So 900 plus 10 is 910. So they owed 900, then they got charged $10 more, so now they owe $910. So it's like a really simple concept, but they don't understand that this is just a total, a running total of all the charges. And then anything that is, I think it's just anything that's negative. Yeah, it's negative. If there's a negative sign, then it just means that the parent overpaid, or that more money has come into the student's account than they actually needed to pay. Any positive number means that the parent owes money. It's a balance. So pretty straightforward. I'm trying to think of any last minute things here. I'll look at billing real quick. I think those are the main things that people kind of get hung up on. Just be really careful if you're walking a client through setting up a pay plan and it's like halfway through the year. They have to like think about if they're setting it up and they want to put in charges from like the first half of the year. Just be aware of, again, this billing page. So these would all be pending initially, and then they would need to make sure to put a student on a pay plan before they go through and open all of these up and close them to catch up to wherever in the year they're supposed to be. So the steps would always be build your billing cycles first, build your fee types, then put kids on a contract, and then go through your billing and open and close the billing periods to trigger all the charges from this month, this month, this month, and so on. So just make sure that they don't put kids on a contract after they've already closed half of their billing cycles, because any of those like backtracked charges won't trigger in that case. So the steps are set up your fee types, then put kids on a contract, then come into billing and open and close these cycles so that the billing, the bill on dates and the contracts actually trigger as you're going through these. Okay, so I would say schools are probably using about 10% of the financial. I think it's a really under advertised feature for all of its capabilities. It's a very comprehensive tool. I'm excited for payment processing because I think that will definitely increase feature adoption. But it's a great feature. And then for schools that want to use it, they just need the time to get it set up. I would tell them it'll probably take, it depends on how much they're going to use in the financial. If they're doing like a very basic kind of financial without pay plans, probably just an hour setup time. If they're doing complicated pay plans and billing structures, you're looking at 3 or more hours. So that's what I would tell them. And then also the financial videos that I made way back when are outdated a ton. Probably want to just get rid of those because they don't even show the financial tab. Most of the information in there is still accurate, but the videos show like they don't even have this billing tab in the video, and it's located under the admin, and it looks quite different. So I think that replacing those videos soon would be good. I don't know, maybe you could just use the videos that I recorded over the last few days for right now until you guys could get like a more formalized kind of video. So, all right, those are my thoughts on financial. And that's all. This is Lena signing off. Bye.